Hello everyone, welcome to the 101% podcast where we talk about mindset, motivation, discipline, how to always push yourself, how to become a beast and how to defeat struggle. This podcast will help you to get a better life, that's 101% for sure. I'm your host Joakim and together with me is the co-host and my sister Annika. Welcome to this podcast.
Today's episode, it's about reaching a milestone. So very special episode. And we will talk about reaching a milestone in our business, being part of the 1% club, the mindset that it demanded of us, the process, and we will take you down memory lane. Please subscribe to the show on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcast and share it with a friend. Let's get started.
Today is a milestone. Only 1% of all the podcast shows in the world publish more than 20 episodes. Therefore, we have reached the top 1% today. Congratulations, Joakim.
Thank you so much, and congratulations to you also, Annika. How does that feel? Can you tell us that? Explain it with your own words.
Thank you. I am very hyped. It's past midnight here in Phuket, but I am wide awake and I'm very happy that we have reached our first goal. And we have been talking a lot about this since the beginning of the process. And I'm very happy. I'm very honored to be on this journey with you. We've had so many positive benefits coming out of this, both in our relationship as siblings and our relationship as business partners and accountability partners. And the journey through personal development has really helped me far further in the path.
It's amazing. Finally, this episode come. This has been our big goal for us for a long time. And the time flies, and suddenly the episode is here, so it's an amazing feeling. And it's a big victory. We have produced and now give out 21 episodes. Because it's a lot of work. It's a milestone that we reach. It's been amazing. A very exciting journey so far, and a very steep learning curve. Extreme much work. So many new things we have to learn. And not many people we can ask. Because we don't know anyone to do this. So we have to do a lot of research by ourselves. But it has been so rewarding. And I have been excited every day to wake up and work about this one. So it's been an amazing journey so far. Annika, what is the next goal we have for our podcast?
The next goal is to reach 101 episodes.
101 episodes. Why that number?
What a coincidence.
Yeah.
But that's the next goal. And of course, the goal for every episode is to produce as much of value in each episode as possible. So we work a lot. There's so many hours behind each episode, and the planning and the process, because we want to do as good as we can in each and every episode published.
Absolutely. One of our small goal is to always make the next episode better than the previous one. The key to come to 21 episode, you have to be consistent, yeah? And we have to believe in yourself, a lot of dedication and hard work. So it's still no cheat code in life, just hard work, dedication, consistency, and believe in yourself. And the boss in the UFC, Dana White, have a great quote. And the quote sounds like this: you need no fear in your life. Then you need to believe in yourself. And then you just have to go for it with all you can. And that's a great quote. You have to develop this, put in the reps, and work on the mindset, and you will be there. Annika, I talk a lot about this one, and I'm not scared anymore. Not as a little bit, nothing. I am so ready. My mindset is bulletproof now, so I know I am a winner. And you know what winners do? They win.
And the people that want to see you win will help you win. So something I've learned through this process is also to spend more time with the people that really share for you. And me and Joakim, as accountability partners, it is such a benefit both for our individual personal development, but of course also for the business. And I have a question to you, Joakim, because why is it important to be a 1%er? And why was it important for us to reach the top 1% of the podcast business?
It's a great question. It was important because this is a big achievement. When we have done that, we show ourselves and we show others that this is something we really, really want. Because if you not really want it, you could not achieve it because it's extremely hard. And when we achieve this one now, we will still working and keep on making it better and better. And this is a way out, from the ordinary hamster wheel, from a normal life and a normal job. Because we talk a lot about it, and we would like to live an extraordinary life on our own terms. We would like to travel a lot, and do what we want when we want. So this is a way to get out of the normal life. Nothing wrong with the normal life for the people who want it, but for me and Annika, we feel we want something more. So that's the right path for us.
Definitely. And that explains it all. Like, this is our ambition, and we feel that it's very meaningful. We have learned a lot. We have gained a lot from this. And we want to inspire. We want to help others and teach others and just share from what we know, our recipe that has worked for us. So if we can help someone, we would be very happy about that.
Absolutely. Because that's one of the big things with our podcast. We'd like to help people, and generally would like to make the life for our listener better. We have so much we can offer, so we really would like to help your listeners. So keep coming back, and we will keep give you more and more tips.
Mm-hmm. That is true, because our goal doesn't end here. We have ambitions for years and years to come with this business.
That's right. We talk about this one for many years. It was around 3-4 years ago, I think. It was right before New Year, and we was out walking a trip on our island. Cold, lot of wind, and we discussed this one, and we say, in the future now, we will start a podcast business together, and this will be our business. And we have think a lot about it. And finally, we just decide, okay, now we're gonna do it.
And I remember it so well, where we were, everything about it. But do you remember the feeling that you had? Did you believe it back then?
I did. I actually did. I really believe it. But now after we started, it became more real. Before I started this podcast, I was a little bit nervous, because it was big decisions, to quit your job, have to sell your apartment. I did that, But after when I start and I work about this one every day, work on my mind on all the important area, I am so sure we're gonna make success of this business, and I'm not scared anymore. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Annika? Do you feel some fear sometime, or are you nervous about the future?
No, I don't anymore. I did for a while, and I remember back then when we were planning it, I always believed it, because it wasn't just a dream, it was a wish with action, with energy. When we were talking about it, the ambitions, we owe it to ourselves to put it into action. So I have believed it ever since the beginning, and the more that we have developed now throughout this journey, like, the negative effects has just peeled off. In the beginning, before we started, I did feel some fear. There was some thoughts in my mind that were trying to just make troubles for myself. But then I knew what I wanted. I knew what we was sharing, and why. I know our whys, our ambitions, our reasons for doing this. So that has just peeled off all the fear, all the negativity, all the nervous feelings in the recording process. So it is really a joyful process.
So what do you feel inside yourself when you think about this business and about your future, when this business is gonna be successful? Can you describe that feeling?
I feel a lot of happiness, to be honest. I feel a fire, like I have been talking about earlier. And I feel so much purpose. This fire that I've been talking about when I was telling my story is what I'm chasing in life. I don't want to do things that doesn't fuel this fire that I have inside of me. And this project is something that fuels it a lot because I feel that it's so meaningful. I want to tell whoever wants to listen, I want to tell you my opinions on things, my experiences, I think about things, how I solve problems, how I have helped myself to get into a better place in life, because that gives me so much meaning. And if I would stop with all of this, I would feel that a kind of emptiness in my life and in my heart, because this fills my heart with so much joy and purpose and passion.
So great to hear. Living is giving. So that's so great because you have so much to offer the world, and it's so good to give and help others.
For sure. And I think that if someone doesn't feel like they get any benefit from it, then I am sorry about that. And maybe they will find another show and come back to listen to ours later, because I promise that we will keep on publishing episodes as good quality as possible. And we will share the best of ourselves at all times. We will be honest. We will take you through the process of life and talk about everything that we find important. So I think that I don't have any fear anymore, because I think that we're creating a community with people that we want to help everyone. And then all the lessons I've had through this process.
I'm so excited for the future. We have so many plans about our podcast business, and we already have a website. Yeah, we have it. That was just one we make quickly, yeah, just so we have one and with all our contact info and social media account. But soon we're gonna start to build a new one, and it's gonna be a very professional, good one. So it's gonna be a lot of surprise in that website. So just keep following us, and we're gonna show you.
We have a lot of good things coming, and I think that that's awesome. We just started. We just threw ourselves out because there is no tomorrow. We cannot keep on waiting for the future. So we just started, and then we are improving. We are improving the show. We are improving the webpage as we go. So I think that's also a lesson. Just throw yourself out in it. Don't wait for the perfect time.
Yeah, because you do not find the perfect time. You just have to create it. And as you mentioned before we start to record this podcast episode, Annika, you just talk about podcast and legacy. I think that was a great point. Can you tell us more about your thought about that?
Yeah, I was saying to you that if I were to die in a car accident one of these days, I think that what I would reflect upon before that were to happen was that I would be very happy about this project, because this project I share with you, one of the most important people in the world for me. You are my best friend, and we have gone through life together, and we have discussed every single thing, and you have been there for me, and we have worked our way through all the challenges, and we communicate very well about important things. So to share this project with you means a lot to me, because you inspire me so much. And also about the legacy part, I feel like this show is creating a legacy because we share so much of ourselves and so much of the lessons that we have learned through life, because life has been a bumpy road and it has not always been easy, and still it's not easy. But sharing about it gives so much value, and hopefully that creates a good legacy that people can learn, and that our words and our lessons can still live, even if I were to die in an accident.
Yeah, that's right. And that's amazing, yeah. If something will happen with us, yeah, the podcast still will stay out there, yeah. So that's right. It's a legacy. It's something you will be remembered for always, yeah. So it's a great project, and and hopefully it will always help a lot of people, yeah.
I really hope so. And that's the purpose of life, like we have been talking about earlier. I feel so much purpose in exactly these things, to give and to share and to help each other and to encourage each other, because we are here on borrowed time and we never know what tomorrow will bring, because we are not the planners of everything.
If you would like to support this podcast with a small donation, so we can keep growing this show and make this podcast better for you guys, we have some donation link on our homepage, the 101percentpodcast.com. The percent sign you have to write with letters. You can donate with PayPal, debit and credit card. We also have Vips for the Norwegian, Swedish, Denmark and Finland. And we also take crypto donation. We appreciate all donation. Thank you so much for supporting this podcast.
How about
Absolutely.
you, Joakim? How have you experienced this journey and this the future plans for our business?
It's very exciting to think about, yeah. I have so many plans, yeah, and I so excited to see where this podcast will get us to, yeah, and how much value we can provide for our listeners and build a community, and it's many things we will do. So I feel very blessed I can be on this journey together with you. Very good teammate and also best friend, as you say. So I'm very happy for that, and couldn't dream about a better person to start business with.
Thank you. The same goes for me. And we have been talking a lot about the 1% now. And what is that in a way? And this is something that I have been thinking a lot about in my life, because the more I grow, the more I understand how things are connected in this world. And very often, 99% of people go this way or think in this way. And 1% of the people divide themselves from the group and reach further. And that concept is what we're going to talk a bit more about now. And there is a quote that I've heard that I want to share with you. And this is about war, but it goes for everything that I have seen in the world. And the quote goes like this: out of every 100 men on the battlefield, 10 shouldn't even be there. 80 are just targets. 9 are the real fighters, and we are lucky to have them, for they make the battle. But the one, only one is a warrior, and he will bring the others back.
Very good quote. But actually, here we have two warriors, one in Thailand and one in Norway.
That is true.
But that's an exception of the rule.
That is true. 2 1%ers in one and the same group. But I think that just to clarify this, it is not a competition. So work or a training or in a group, I never compete against other people. But it's just that, as I've told earlier, I have this fire inside of me, this purpose. So everything that I go into, I want to do it with all of my heart, or I won't do it at all. So if that means washing the dishes at work for a nursing home, or working with the elderly or the youths, or with substance abuse, or I want to go with everything that I have, because if not, why should I even do it? So I think that is a bit of the 1% mindset, that in a group, so many people can do a certain thing, but then some people have this fire. They want to do it as well as they can, or go as far as we can, and that is not about competition, but it is about yourself, that fire, keeping yourself to higher standards, always wanting to produce the best of quality. And that also goes for this show. As we have been talking about, we want to produce so much quality and value in each episode, because we don't want our listeners to listen to something and don't feel like they have received anything. So we owe it to you to publish good episodes, and we owe it to ourselves, because this is our project. We want to do it as well as possible.
Absolutely. I went through my phone today and I looked some old picture of some message I have, and it was in 2013, yeah, when I was at the bottom of my drinking career, and I just fly back from Thailand, yeah, and drink so much, and then I was very tired, and yeah, it was not so well, and I remember the day after I was lying in the boat and freezing and couldn't eat and very hungry and gonna work, and I write a message to myself, okay, now it's 2013, I think it was 1st August. And now I gonna do this, and build up my life again, make a good life for my daughter, and many things I write. And at the end of the message, I write, and now I gonna do it 101% to build up my life again. So that was funny to see, yeah.
That is awesome. That is very special.
Yeah, it was just a coincidence that I did see that in my phone today.
And that is funny when we record this episode, and also how you, at the bottom of your life, it was before you made the decision to go into rehab.
That's right, yeah. A month before. I was just back in the fly right from Thailand and to the boat, and I'm gonna start working, yeah.
Right, because I remember this period of time, there was a lot of uncertainty. I didn't know what decisions you would make, and I remember this boat trip. So
you couldn't trust me there. You can never trust me that time.
No, not at all. So I remember it very well. But it is so awesome to hear that you were lying there and maybe experiencing withdrawals or a bad physical feeling, and you were at the bottom physically and mentally. But the solution was 101% going to help you.
Yes, absolutely. It's changed the 101% about the drinking and put it to build up my life again. So it's a very good recipe, but you have to use it on the right way and the right things.
Definitely. So who are the 1% of the world?
I know 2 of them sit here right now. The 1%er, for example, Andrew Tate, Habib Nurmagomedov, Elon Musk, Donald Trump. That's some of the people who just got into my mind now. Elon Musk is an amazing human. So raw. Everything he do. And I see sometimes, I see in Twitter, and some journalists have to write, Elon Musk, you're so stupid, I not agree with you with this, but you cannot say Elon Musk is stupid. If you agree with him or not, that's up to you, but you cannot say him stupid. Him sending a rocket into the space and they come down again, and they can still use them more times, and it cost a tenth what the other spaceship cost. And him make Tesla, and did every electric car in the world have to see what him do it, and the electric car became better. Him have make Starlink, and him actually buy Twitter X, so people can have free speech. Because if you are big in the world and a lot of people know you, it is not free speech. But Elon must do that for the human. So he's a great character. I really look up to him. So is it someone in your mind, Annika?
I think there are some people that come into mind, and the characteristics are especially the fact that they dare to be different, they dare to be great, they dare to go their own way, they dare to trust their intuition and do what is right. Because this opinion I have about the 1% of people is also that many times people want to hold you back, people want to bring you down, people want you to do the same thing as they do. And sometimes you know that that is not right. Sometimes it is right to do what most people does, but sometimes it isn't. Because, and this is all about, what sources do you listen to? What do you believe in? What is important for you? And I'll say one example. When the COVID virus came, the whole world was in this pandemic. And then the whole social media and mainstream media and newspapers started talking about the vaccine. And I was like a little bit skeptical. And the more I saw of what they published, they could guarantee you to not be sick of the vaccine. And they could guarantee that you wouldn't be contagious for everyone else. And they could this and this. And then you saw that that wasn't right. So it was many lies being published for the mainstream media. So for me, it wasn't right at all to take that vaccine. And of course, I am very skeptical towards the mainstream media. And only because 99% of people do it, why should you? And I think actually I read at one point that most people in Norway, about like 90 to 99%, I don't remember the exact number, has taken that vaccine. But I chose to never do it. And I am very happy about that. But for me, it was not right at all to listen to healthcare organization in Norway and the mainstream media, because honestly, in this case, I don't think that their credibility is worth me injecting something in my body that obviously wasn't as good as they said. So sometimes listening to the 99% isn't the right thing to do. And I was having this conversation with a young and special friend of mine the other day, and it came to when I was going to make a decision in my life, and we were talking a lot about this. And also, this was a thing where many people told me to not do it, or many people maybe told me that they were skeptical and this, but I knew that I had right. And then this friend of mine told me that, yeah, but if everyone goes to the right, maybe they end up in a garbage dump. And you go to the left, and maybe you end up in the most beautiful destination and path of all. And this quote is something that I've carried with me since, because that is so true. You never know. Only because 99% of people say something, it is not a fact. Sometimes it might be credible and it might be the right thing, but not always. So you have to think for yourself. You have to be very critical of all the sources. And that's why I don't think that you should just trust everything that is delivered to you by the government or by the mainstream media, because it is not always facts.
That's right. You have to think about, why is all news in all country in the world for free?
Mm-hmm.
You get them in TV, you get them in newspaper. Why is it free? Why is it they want us to see?
Mm-hmm.
So I also are very skeptic to the news, and then for many years I barely read the news. I do it around 2 to 5 minutes every day, just so I know a little bit what happened in the world. When you get in conversation with others, especially when you work with other people, you have to know a little bit. But it's mostly thing in the news. It's not so interesting. And when you read the news, you never became happy about it, because it's so much negativity they write. I want to hear about positivity. I know it's so many good story and good things happen out in the world also. So to read the news just get me worse.
Mm-hmm.
And also I see in X, or more Twitter, it's so much real news who come out there who is not censored by the mainstream media. So it's better news over there many of the time, because I want real news. They have to cover it as it really is. That's so important. And I think it's a lot of bad journalistic around in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So they just cover the way they want it. But you have to cover the good and the bad, and then people can decide for themselves what they think.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very important.
Definitely. And I think that in your house, in a normal household, you have 2 washing machines. You have the laundry machine and you have the brain washing machine, which is the television. And very often the information that you consume from that, you should be more critical to it. When I scroll sometimes on the newspaper, just to find out more about what's going on in Gaza right now, how is the situation, or other very important things going on in the world, I'll go in and I'll scroll. And at the top, it is some news about a celebrity that did this or this. And I think, why is that even news? Why is that the front headline thing? There's so many important things going on in the world. Why is that what's on the front page? But I think, again, it's because what the system wants your mind to be consumed with. Because when you go around and you are consumed by all these celebrities, all these worries, it is electricity worries about another crisis, it is worries about more expensive prices coming, the season is closing up, you need to be worried about this and this and this. And when you are so consumed by all of these worries, you are not able to be creative and to be planning your escape from the system and to plan your success road. The thing that separates the 1% from the 99%, you need to be critical with what you feed your mind with. Successful minds don't have time to be filled with trash or useless things, because you only have this much space. You cannot spend so many hours a day thinking about things that will not benefit you.
So the 1%, you not need to be as big as Andrew Tate or Elon Musk or Donald Trump or something, but it can also be you just want to take another pattern than the pattern everyone was doing. So that's also inside of the 1%. You just want to do something else. You want to have more out of your life.
Definitely. And I think that something that I've learned the past time is that I won't listen to anyone about how I should tie my shoelaces that hasn't been in my shoes. There are many people I will listen to, but this person can teach me about this topic, and this other person can teach me about this topic. And then there goes the line in a way. I don't think that you should listen to everyone about everything, because people don't know. People tell you all the things about how they would live their life, but if they are not getting the results that you want, why should they advise you? And I think that is the mindset that is demanded of us. We need to dare to say goodbye to some things. Certain things will not benefit you so much, and then we need to say goodbye to those things, because we are here on borrowed time. Life is very short, and you never know how short. So you need to eliminate the negative things in your life, and you need to prioritize what is most important to you. And the black and white mentality that we have been talking a lot about in this show is because it works. If you have this gray zone, you're always living in the gray zone, doing some good things and some bad things. You're taking one step ahead, but one step back or two steps back. You are moving very slowly and in a very messy path that can make you stumble and fall. So that's why I think that you need to make a statement. You need to make some decisions in your life. Where do you want to go? And how are you going to get there?
Lot of good advice.
So do you have any life advice that you want to give our listeners? What have you learned through your life and through this process of our business?
I have learned that just really try to find out what you really would like to do in your life. Then you just start and go for it. That's the most valuable lesson I learned. And us just start, but start in the small. Do little by little. Create your dream life. It's never too late. And if it not became your dream life, it will become better. Just start and get most out of your life. And what about you, Annika?
I totally agree. And I think that it's all about prioritizing yourself, what's good for yourself, having this black and white mentality. And it is your only life. So the least you can do is to give it your best. You owe it to yourself. And this 1% mentality, or the 101% recipe, comes with a lot of responsibility. You are responsible in your life. So it is a lot about not having this victim mentality, but you are responsible for each and every single decision you make in your life. Is it going to bring you further away from your goal or closer to your goal? Because there is no in between. You choose.
Absolutely. For me and Annika, we would like to go 101% inside to all things. But if you are not that person, that's okay. But you can still be the best version of yourself. So we just want to encourage you to make good and new habits and do things a little bit better, and you will see big changes in your life.
And where some people find excuses, others find reason. It's all about mindset and finding your way to solve things. It's not easy for anyone. So you need to push yourself, but of course you need to be kind to yourself at the same time.
What have we lost on it? Almost nothing. We are taking risk, but the reward of them are so much greater than the risk of it.
And I am extremely proud of you for everything that you have done for our business. You hustle more than anyone I know. You are awake all the time hustling. And as you have told a lot about in this podcast show, is that you are very happy with the way you live your life now. And me and you have had these conversations for many years, but now we have them here online to teach others and to share of ourselves. And this has helped us a lot. And I am extremely proud of you for everything you have achieved in your life.
Thank you so much for that. Very proud of you too. You've been a big motivation for many of the things you have done. So you have also helped to make me tougher. So I'm really proud of you too. And I'm excited for the journey we have ahead of us. We're just getting started. Today's episode was recorded on 29th of November 2024. If you like this episode, please share it and click on the donation link at our webpage to help us grow this show. In the next episode, we will talk about how temptation is like the devil, bringing you further away from your goal in every choice you make. We will tell you how we work against temptation and why the 101% recipe is an answer to this. Stay tuned.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram on this podcast account, the 101% podcast. If you like this episode, make sure to share this podcast episode with a friend and review the show on Apple Podcast. Thank you to all the audience for listening. We appreciate you all a lot. Hope that you will come back and listen to our next episode. Until next time, take care and give it your best.